So here's what happened. Boris Cherny, he's the head of Claude Code at Anthropic, the guy who literally built the thing, publicly said that 100% of his code is now written by AI. He hasn't edited a single line by hand since November. And no, this isn't some wild month. Shipshire, he's cranking out 20 to 30 pull requests per day. The average traditional developer, about 3 per week. And the secret sauce, according to Cherny, is something called loop engineering. Okay, let's talk about what that actually is. So the idea is straightforward. Instead of sitting there manually prompting an AI model over and over, write this function, fix that bug. No, not like that, like this. You build an automated loop. The loop plans, executes, verifies, and iterates. It runs on its own. Claude writes code, tests it, reads the test results, fixes what broke, and spins again until it hits a stop condition. You design the loop. The AI runs inside it. And on paper, this makes sense. It's basically what good engineers already do mentally: think, write, test, fix, repeat. Except now you've externalized the cycle and let a machine hammer through it at machine speed while you go get coffee. The loop has 5 components, according to the emerging orthodoxy. Automations that kick things off, get work trees so multiple loops can run in parallel without stepping on each other. Skills, which are basically reusable instructions, connectors to external tools, and subagents that break big tasks into smaller ones. Now here's where things get interesting, because loop engineering has gone from some guy's workflow to the next paradigm of software development in about the span of a week. There are already complete guides, blog posts with titles like Loop Engineering, a complete guide from prompt to context to harness engineering. That's a real title. Someone typed that and hit publish. And the 200% productivity number, that's being thrown around like it's a verified fact. Which, let's be clear, it isn't. That figure appears to come from LinkedIn posts summarizing Cherny's workflow, not from any published study, any peer-reviewed methodology, or any external audit. We have one developer at one company reporting his own output. That's not a data point. That's an anecdote with a press tour. Now, none of this is to say Cherny is lying. He's probably not. He built Claude Code. He's deeply embedded in this tool. He's the most optimized human possible for this particular workflow. But that's exactly why his numbers can't be generalized. He's not the average case. He's the absolute best case. He's the person who built the hammer, talking about how fast he can swing it. There's just one problem, actually, several problems. First, token costs. Every loop cycle burns tokens. And when your loop is spinning, plan, execute, verify, fail, fix, repeat, those cycles can get expensive fast. The people actually using loops at scale are quietly acknowledging that without cost discipline, your 200% productivity gain comes with a 400% compute bill. Second, what counts as a PR? If your loop generates 30 tiny pull requests a day, each one fixing a typo or updating a config file, that's not the same as 30 meaningful architectural changes. Quantity is a terrible proxy for output. Always has been. That's startup culture leaking into engineering metrics. Third, and this is the one nobody wants to talk about, is this really new? Think about it. Loop engineering is designing automated workflows where an AI plans, executes, verifies, and iterates until completion, which is a script that runs with error handling. We used to call those build pipelines. Then we called them CI/CD. Then we called them agentic workflows. Now it's loop engineering. The idea of automating a repetitive developer task, running it in a cycle, checking for success, that is not a paradigm shift. That is Tuesday for anyone who's ever written a makefile. What is new is that AI models are now powerful enough to be the engine inside those loops. The execution layer got dramatically better. That's real. But dressing it up as a new discipline with a shiny brand name, that's narrative manufacturing. And look, the AI industry needs that narrative right now. Desperately. We are in a moment where the original AI hype promises are starting to look aspirational. Self-driving was supposed to be here. AGI was supposed to be around the corner. Enterprise AI adoption has been famously slower than projected. Venture capital is getting tighter. The grift patrol is louder than ever. So when someone credible, the head of Claude Code, no less, says, "I've found the next thing after prompting," the industry grabs onto it like a life raft because they need a new story. Prompt engineering already feels played out. Agentic AI got overused into meaninglessness. Loop engineering is fresh, it's crisp, it has the word engineering in it, which makes it sound serious. And most importantly, it suggests that the productivity revolution isn't stalling. It's just entering its next phase. Maybe it is. Maybe loops are genuinely the right abstraction for working with AI at scale. There's a version of this where designing the right loop with the right verification step, the right guardrails, the right stop conditions is actually a genuinely new and valuable skill. A Reddit thread from just days ago summarized it well. Maybe loop engineering is really about adding memory, verification, and guardrails around repetitive or risky parts. That's not nothing. But there's also a version of this where loop engineering becomes another buzzword that gets strip mined for LinkedIn content, pasted onto every pitch deck in Silicon Valley, and then quietly retired when the next shiny thing comes along in 6 months. I'm skeptical. But I'm also honest enough to say I might be wrong. Here's what I know for sure. One very impressive person at one very well-resourced company has a workflow that works for him. The rest of the industry is now sprinting to brand it, scale it, monetize it, and sell it back to you, probably as a SaaS product with a monthly subscription. Interesting situation. Strong opinions on all sides. Whether loop engineering becomes the next real thing or just the next empty phrase, the next few months will probably tell us. We'll see how those token bills look when everyone's looping.